Welcome. You are now watching BossLady News, highlighting businesses, nonprofits, events, talent. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Miss Britt Johnson.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to BossLady News. I am so excited tonight. I've got a great show for you as usual, but you always know that you can contact me, bossLadyNews@gmail.com, or visit the website, bossLadyNews@bossLadyNews.com. We're going to be talking today with Junior Vipin from Vogue Fashion Runway. You guys have seen the events. If you haven't been out to them, shame on you. The W Hotel is hosting amazing events for Vogue Fashion Runway, and I invite you to be there for the next one. We're also going to get a chance to talk with Miss Leandra. Yes, from LeeLees Creations. I love her designs. You guys see me sharing them on Facebook all the time and Instagram. You guys got to make sure you check out her Instagram. We're also going to get a chance to speak with Mr. Mike Boston. I got a chance to meet him over at the Strand Theater for an event, and I was just 100% amazed with what he's doing in the community. With no further ado, like we always do, let's go ahead and talk with Cuban Mic about some celebrity gossip. Cuban Mic, come on out here.
Hey,
hey.
Oh, what's going on? What's going on?
My brother from some other parents.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I want to know what you got for me today. There's always something awesome.
Of course, but first and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to two individuals. One of my buddies, Wanda, he's been doing a lot of community work in Lawrence. He's been giving back, cleaning up the streets. So big shout out to Wanda and to producer Status Selector. From Lawrence, Massachusetts, who he's been producing for a lot of people, from Wale to Nas. He just signed an Incan deal to Rock Nation. Ooh. So right now he's about to do big things. So big shout out to Lawrence and Status Elected and everybody out there.
We got to get Lawrence into Boston.
We're coming close, baby. We're coming
100%.
close. We're going to work some things. So if you guys hear this, hopefully y'all could come to the show soon.
That's right.
So yes, I want to speak on just success today because there's been a lot of people succeeding this week. I want to start off with Drake. There was a Billboard Awards that came out on Sunday, and he broke a record for having 13 awards. So,
Drake.
Yes, he broke records.
Well, congratulations to Drake. Y'all know I'm not always a Drake fan, but we can't knock the success.
The boy's dropping hits left and right. So, yes, I believe he broke Janet Jackson's record. She had 12, so he broke it on Sunday. So, yes.
Okay.
Hey,
but
man.
nobody can compare
She's
with
an
my
icon,
Janet.
but he's doing this thing. No denying on the man right now. And speaking of him, he was on the Forbes top list. For the most money. So he hit the 90 mil mark, following by Birdman with 150 mil, followed by Dr. Dre that he got 720 mil. Jay got 810 mil.
Okay.
And number one ranking Diddy with the Vodka and the Revolt TV with 820 mil.
Wow.
So
these are definitely people that our young people should be looking at and trying to see how did they build their success and their wealth.
Hey, they're feeding people, giving out jobs. And speaking of Jay-Z, if you mixed up with Beyonce, she also made 350 mil this year. So put them together, they're billionaires right now.
Right.
Adding up to 1.16 bill. Yeah.
Wow.
They're billionaires right now, man.
They've always been
winning
on that top couples list of millionaires and billionaires. They've always been up there.
And for the fact of the stuff they've been doing outside of music, you know, Jay's been executive producing, The Rock Nation. He produced a whole bunch of documentaries coming up. So much success to those people, man. So I'm just happy to see people, black folks, succeeding.
For sure.
Yes.
And I want to say shout out to Jay-Z for his production with that young man that was wrongfully incarcerated for a long period of time.
Khalif, yes.
And he passed away. He committed suicide, but he didn't do it before his story was told. And I encourage people to actually really look at that documentary about wrongful incarceration, and Jay-Z was a part of bringing that story out.
Yeah, and you know, it takes a lot, because usually when, you know, especially with folks, you know, once we hit a certain success, you always expect to like not say something about the community. So the fact that he took a risk to do a documentary like that, and I saw bits and pieces of it, but the things that I saw was just unbelievable. Just the prison system and the way how it works, and prison is big business.
It is.
Big business.
It's $1 million business. You've got cities on the inner city Midwest areas where they don't have any jobs, looking to actually have prisons built in their neighborhoods because it brings in money for them.
Yeah.
So that is something that people should definitely be looking at, and encourage the celebrities. You know, we really need to stop competing with whenever they stand up for something and then feeling like, oh, they didn't stand up enough for it.
Yeah.
We need to let them do their thing the way that they do.
Yeah, it's also an interesting thing because people expect them, you know, we're living in a new generation, so people expect us to take the Muhammad Ali approach and go to like an extreme road and just march out. You know, sometimes you could just be like Jay and be the man behind the scenes or be the silent partner.
That's
you know,
right.
You don't always have to be on Front Street.
Right.
You know, you could go the Colin Kaepernick way or you could go the Jay way, either or, as long as you're expressing yourself and showing that voice out to the people. It's a beautiful thing, so I'm all for it.
Well, we are going to hear from you a little bit later on today. Yes. We're going to cut to a brief break, and when we come back...
I'm coming back?
Of course you're coming back. When we come back from this break, we're going to get a chance to speak with Junior Vipin. You guys don't go anywhere. You're watching Boss Lady News.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
About inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. Now, I'm excited to have him on because I've known him for so long. Junior Vipin from Vogue Fashion Runway. Hey, how are you? I'm a hugger. Have a seat. I'm so excited to finally have you on Boss Lady News.
I'm excited also.
But we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah, for many years.
For many years.
Since I was in med school.
Yes.
Yeah.
But our viewers are new to you. So, are you originally from the Boston area?
Actually, yes. I grew up pretty much in Montreal, and I ended up moving here when I was 19 years old. I went to school in Boston and graduated in Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know.
So you're a Bostonian.
Yeah, I'm a Bostonian, but actually at this moment I just moved out to Boston. I live in New York now.
Oh, nice. I did see you send a text. He sent a text message to me. He's like, I'm going to be in New York, so.
Yeah, so I'm in New York and I'm engaged.
Yes, we've known about that for a while. Yeah. Anyone who's not following you on Facebook, Junior Vipin, you guys should definitely be following him because not only are you producing fashion shows, you're also working with models, you're working with the designers, and you're working directly with buyers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Vogue Fashion is a platform, pretty much, I created to help designers in Boston. My goal when I created this platform was only to marketing and promote the designer brand and collection to help them, you know, to be able to connect with customers. So that was my goal.
I love it.
Yeah.
And it's so necessary here in Boston because I feel like there's so many professionals within the fashion industry, but they don't exactly know how to market themselves, how to collaborate with other designers, how to really pick the models. Because for models, you actually are going through an agency.
Yes, I use Model Club, and I also use, I used to use TBW models from Pamela. After a contract was expired, so I ended up using Model Club. And I also have some freelance because I love freelance model. You have to give everybody a chance. You know, I support everybody in the fashion industry.
Absolutely.
All right, so I mixed the show with some model agency and some freelance model. We have actually some great freelance model on the show.
Yeah. What initially got you into wanting to do this? Because I know it can be a headache.
It's very difficult. When I started this show, I don't know if you remember, I was doing Montreal, so I started doing a fashion show with my best friend Albert Vogue, the Italian guy that I introduced you back in the day. When he passed away from cancer, so our goal was to create a platform and do fashion show because the first time I did fashion show at Montreal, everybody loved it. We have about 200 people inside, and we were using different designer for my art. And at that time, something came in my head, and Albert, it was like, you know what? Why don't we do like fashion show you know, like this, it's to help designer because at that time I was looking at the Liberty Hotel doing shows every Thursday,
right?
You know, and I go to their hotel and see that they don't have any buyers, they don't have no fashion bloggers, and not even the media there. So at that time, it was kind of hard for me because I didn't have no sponsors, I didn't have no help from nobody, and it was kind of hard for me to put a show together.
Right.
But I tried by investing myself more by myself, and you know, putting a lot of money inside. You know, my mother helped.
It takes a lot of that. It takes a lot of you putting your time, your energy, and your finances into projects to kind of even get other people to join you and start helping you with that.
First of all, you have to also earn the trust.
Right.
And it took me a while before I earned a lot of designer and boss and trust. When I started, a lot of people didn't know who I was. People knew me as Junior Vipant, you know, the promoter. Nobody knew that I graduated college. Nobody knew that, you know, so I'm actually a good person that trying to help other people. Nobody knew that I did a lot of charity event, you know, helping kids with cancer.
Right.
You know, so I donated a lot of money to a lot of kids in Boston, you know. I did a charity event for Brigham Women Hospital, Children's Hospital also. You know, I don't know if you remember the boat cruise.
Yes.
The boat cruise with that girl that have cancer. So I donated like $4,000 for her in the boat.
And I want to applaud you for your service and it being, I hate to say this, but legitimate. There are so many people out there that are doing events, they're doing fashion shows, and they're saying that it's for a cause or they're raising money for breast cancer awareness. And I'll be honest, I've never seen any of those events actually give that money to the people that they're doing it for. But for you, I've seen that, and I really want to applaud that.
Thank you very much. And that's one of the things that's what I was trying to tell you. I want to earn the community trust and the designer. And one of the things I saw in the fashion industry, a lot of people are charging designer fee. Our show, we do not, you know, concentrate ourselves on making money on top of the designer. And if they charge a designer fee, you should expect at least to see some buyer in the show.
Right.
You know, some show they charge you like $1,000 to $2,000, and you come up, there's not one buyer sit down and watching the show.
Right.
Before when I started, I used to have that kind of problem also, you know, but now like I have a direct connection. I go meet with the buyers outside, interact with them, trying to earn their trust, you know, pay for their hotel to come, you know, and pay for their food and flight so they can come see the designer.
Right.
You know, yeah, so you have to earn someone's trust. You gotta prove that you're doing something. If you say you're doing a charity event, you gotta show that person that you're donating the money to them. Right. It's the same way if you're working with a designer, you gotta lay out everything you're gonna supply and provide. You know, if you do not have anything to supply to a designer, they're not gonna respect you.
And they're not gonna need you.
Yeah.
I feel like it's important for people to know that with the Vogue Fashion Runway Show, the buyers being there, that is a direct link and necessity for the designers.
Yeah.
If you're a designer, you're making clothing, you really should consider selling your clothing or getting it in front of a buyer.
That's one of the things about fashion show in Boston. Fashion show in Boston turned to like an entertainment. And I didn't want it to be an entertainment fashion show. Just people to come watch that don't know anything about fashion show, you know? I wanted to know the size, the business size of the fashion show. Invite fashion blogger, the media, the news, everything, you know, the buyer. Even if I have one buyer sitting here, like, I don't know if the last two show I have two buyers, you know, Jessie Penney, TJ Maxx. So I want them to sit down and watch and, you know, the designers, you know, to interact with the designer after the show.
Right.
You know, even though if they really don't like what you have, but at least, you know, they interact with you, you have a connection, you met them, you talk to them.
Right.
That's what, you know, Vogue is all about.
Yeah, and it helps people get to the next step. We're actually going to go ahead and take a look at a quick little clip for one of the fashion shows that I had a chance to be at. I hope you guys enjoy this clip.
And everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you.
you guys enjoyed that one. And guess what? I've got another one for you to take a look at. This is again from Voji Fashion Runway Productions. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Hi, I'm Rhiannon of Davika Styles, and my tagline is clothing for a new identity.
And we believe that every girl deserves to live victoriously. You can find me on Facebook at Visit A Shopping or Instagram at Visit A Shopping. Bye.
Hi, I'm Kelly Bernard from Unviet. Be bold, be fearless, be desired. You can catch me on Facebook and Instagram at Unviet.
You can find me on Facebook page, which is Shywalk, and also my website is shywalk.com, and my number is 617-650-3224.
You guys, if you're a designer, if you're a model, if you're a buyer, you should definitely be looking to get in touch with Junior Vipin. They can find you on all social media also, just in case. And what are your social medias?
Voji Fashion Runway is the fan page. We have our website, vojifashionrunway.com. Our email address is voji.runway@gmail.com.
Now, I wanted to ask you, when you are really you and Rose, because you've got an assistant that's helping you to put these things together, both people of color, so I, for one, want to make sure that you're recognized for the success that you are having with this. The W Hotel, all of your designers, all of your models, the production itself, when you're setting it up, because you have another production coming up for Boston Fashion Week in October, when you're setting it up, how difficult is it for you to actually plan it?
It's very stressed.
Right.
I would say to run a fashion show is not easy. It takes months. Right now for Boston Fashion Week, I had to travel to meet with international designer. I have Sabina Saga from New York, and she's a top designer. I have a London designer from Paris, that's coming up. So Dubai designer, 3 of them, and also I have to create an atmosphere for them to talk to all the Boston designers that's going to be on the show so they get to know each other. You have to introduce all the designers together. It's very hard to work. It's stressful. It asks a lot. You have to coordinate with the models. And Rose is always stressed. And Julissa also. We always run around, do like interviews. We have to meet with the media people, I saw that on the video you showed the trunk, right? So I would say the trunk should help a lot of designer. What you did for me is very appreciative. I would like to thank you for that also, because help a lot of designer in Boston, because what I see, a lot of designers in Boston need the help, so people to know what they are. Because we need to keep our designer in our city, so our city can grow more.
Absolutely.
So because if we do not show the Boston market, who are our designer, nobody gonna know who they are. Nobody gonna help them.
And they're gonna leave.
They're gonna leave and go to New York Fashion Week and spend $1,000 and go to Paris, and they're not gonna want to come back to New York, or to Boston. So you want to keep the Boston designer here, keep them working here, keep them showing the collection, help them get to know the public. Help the public to get to know them so they can sell.
Because they're a part of our community, which I think is so special that you're
they are
really
special.
highlighting these people.
That's why we do the trunk on live TV. That's why Dirty Water Media help us also. Boston Raw, we have the Boston Globe now. So Tina is in charge. Thank you to Tina. She's watching it right now.
Yeah, she's amazing. Her photography is amazing.
She's amazing. And also I want to thank you for all your help with us and during the show, for coordinating everything for us, all the photographers that help us put this together. Without the photographer, we can never have a good pictures.
Right.
And that's why I want to say thank you to Richard Burton, and thank you to my makeup artists, Jacqueline Vauquet and Diana Siri.
Yes.
All right, and I want to thank all the designers. Kelly Bernard, you saw, she's a good couture designer. Ria, Debbie Castal. We have Angelina. So she's a good designer also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all these designers are very good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to make sure we have you on again. Thank you for coming on this time. We're going to continue following Vogue Fashion Runway. And you guys, please make sure you do reach out to Junior Vipin for any of those possible opportunities. Designers, models, buyers, if you're starting a boutique or if you own a boutique and you're trying to get some unique pieces in, you've got those people here in your community. And like Junior said, let's try to keep them and appreciate them. We are going to cut to a brief PSA, and when we come back, we're going to get a chance to go ahead and talk with Miss LeeLee from LeeLees Creations, Leandra, and she's got a new project that she's been working on, and I can't wait to tell you all about that. We'll be right back.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Thank you for staying tuned to BossLady News. I hope you all are enjoying your night tonight. And feel free to contact me, bossLadyNews@gmail.com. And you guys know my social media, so please feel free to reach out to me anytime. Now, let's go ahead and talk with LeeLees Creations creator and owner, Leandra. Why don't you come on out here?
Hey.
How are you?
I'm great, Michelle.
Have a seat. You're busy, busy, busy lady.
Yes, yes.
Yes. And we all know about these amazing flower decor that you created and you brought to all of Boston.
Right.
So tell us, for those who don't know, a little more about this project that you had started.
Well, these are paper flowers. Fun thing to add to any type of event. You know, it's also a fun thing to do with your family, your friends. Also fun to do with any organization, you know, which I've done a number of for like, you know, clinics, health clinics, some adult daycares, stuff like that, you know, just something nice to add to an event, some like baby showers, weddings.
Yeah.
And it's very inexpensive compared to flowers.
Right.
So, and plus it's the biggest thing that everybody's doing right now. Paper flowers are everywhere.
Right.
You know, so you see them they blew up on the scene about 10 years ago, and now everybody wants them as part of their event decor. So, and I've been doing them for the past 10 years now.
Okay.
So, and now I've gotten a chance to actually kind of really focus in doing them as part of a workshop, which I totally enjoy doing.
When you are doing the workshops and you're working with other people, because we had you come on before and kind of do a workshop with me, and it's a lot of fun. When you're working with other people and they're trying to do it and they're trying to create, do you get frustrated? Are you excited to see them working on what you originally brought to them?
Well, yeah, I'm very excited. I never get frustrated. Everybody learns at their own pace, you know? So, and the thing that one time, art has no language. I found that out in a great way when I did a workshop for a women in transition program. None of them spoke English.
Wow.
So, which I thought was going to be a challenge, but actually it ended up being like a wonderful experience, you know, just seeing that they actually was able to create even though we couldn't communicate.
Yeah.
You know, so it was very rewarding at the end, you know, and they were very happy with what they was able to create with their own hands.
Before we slip too far from it, you're able to go to some of these places, nonprofits and groups, and actually do a workshop with them on how to create these amazing flowers.
Right.
How can people get in touch with you for that?
Well, they can call me, 781-510-9985, or they can...
Say it again, a little slower. Because, you know, if I was watching and you said it, I would need it a little bit slower.
781-510-9985. Or you can call me on Facebook. You can hit me up on Facebook, LeeLees Creations. Also, you can hit me up on Instagram.
Yes. And your Instagram's amazing. I'm really enjoying that.
Thank you.
You do a variety of different types of events.
Right.
From weddings to baby showers. What was the most extravagant event that you've had to do?
The most extravagant one was at the W. That was fun. That was downtown. It called for a lot of other vendors to be pulled in with this event, but it was a lot of fun. Draping, you know, the sequence tablecloths. The florist did an amazing job on the centerpieces. It was wonderful.
Yeah, and you're not just familiar with doing the flower decor.
Right.
You do event design, so you do all of it.
Yep, I do that. I have my own rentals. I do balloon designs. Like I said, paper flower walls. I do invitations that we'll be discussing later. You know, I do pretty much everything, a jack of all trades.
What initially got you into wanting to first be an entrepreneur, which more and more people of color, especially right now in this presidency, it's the time for entrepreneurs to really find their niche. So what kind of got you into that lane?
Well, actually, it kind of started when I was a little girl with my mom. She's always been resourceful. You know, your parents are very resourceful. They go, if you can't afford it, you make it.
That's right.
You know, so you kind of start off that way. You know, and my mom, she's also a seamstress. You know, so she started creating, like, you know, things for other people. And then you see how happy they are. You know, and then we started helping people with their parties. You know, and then you just kind of get a little niche, you know, from there. And it just kind of grew from there, you know, kind of took on a life of its own. So, and then here I am today, you know, just like I told you, jumped out on faith about 5 years ago and left it all in God's hands.
Yeah, and it's so amazing that you have done that because I've seen you setting up for even other vendors' events.
Yes.
Where you're doing the decor for other people who are also entrepreneurs.
Yes.
A young lady that we will soon be having on, Anna Maven. I've seen, you know, a Maven's World event, and I was there, actually, got a chance to record you in action, and you move so quickly.
Right. Everybody has their lane that they work in as far as, you know, like Anna, she hosts her events. You know, I'm there to support, be her team player. You know, so
and make the place look beautiful.
Make the place look beautiful, you know, so she can go and do her own thing as far as, you know, showing what she's doing for that event.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's part of my job. You know,
Awesome.
Gotta be a team player. We all have to support each other.
That's right, especially here in the New England area. More and more entrepreneurs are popping up, and we want to, once again, be resourceful, be appreciative of the people within your community because they know what they're doing, especially if you know someone who's been doing it for a long period of time, such as Miss LeeLees Creations right here. We're going to go ahead and cut to a brief break, and when we come back, you've got a new project that we're going to be looking at. So you all don't go anywhere. You're watching Boss Lady News.
If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
Hey, how are you guys doing? I am absolutely in love with this floral piece that's over here. You caught me kind of looking at it. I was thinking about taking it home. That's what was happening. So, Leandra, these are some more of the floral pieces that you've been able to create.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about the different shapes and stuff.
Well, the reason why they're up here is, like, you know, a lot of people ask, you know, how can I display them at home? You know, other than just your events. And there are a lot of ways you can display them at home. Like right here, the pink and the brown, you know, with the white. You can put that in, like, over the the crib for the baby in the baby room, or in your bedroom, or kids' room. You know, something like this going down a wall. You know, a massive wall, which would be nice if it's a blank wall in your house.
Yeah.
Which some people do have a spare wall.
Nice.
And want something artistic
like
to put
in the
that
dining
place.
room area, this would look beautiful.
Yeah, that, and you can even spray paint them gold. You know, which is hot. And something like this, you know, like for the boys' room, or just if that's your color, even in the bathroom.
I might have to have you come and do Neo's
I would
area.
love to. You know, another way to display paper flowers,
Yes.
it's like making a big impact. You know, it's a conversation piece. I have something like this at my mom's house, you know, and it just kind of just yells out at you, and it's just so pretty.
Right.
You know, just
and
put
I
it
like
right on
how
the
you
table.
put it inside. It looks like a huge vase.
Right, right.
Yes,
it is,
with flowers. It's beautiful. And this is so simple. This would look amazing in like the communal area.
Yeah, like a foyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, even just on your coffee table, on a side table in your living room. You know.
Now, how long did it took you to make this?
Well, this right here, because it has a different couple of more components to it.
Yeah.
So it'll take maybe an hour and a half for the whole piece. But the flower itself, about 45 minutes.
Nice.
Each, yeah.
Now you've got this new project that you've worked on. What inspired you, and tell us a little bit about this.
Well, I've always done like stationary pieces for a lot of the events that I've done, including invitations. And a lot of people didn't even know that I did invitations. So I brought a couple of format samples of some of the invitations I've done for a few of my clients in the past, and just to show you like the different ways you can have them look, even though it's the same one. You know, just have
I really
your
like
options.
this. I like how you have the simple little piece up here, just to kind of make it pop.
Right,
Yeah.
right, and they're affordable. You know, some people kind of stray away from doing the invitations, you know, for their special event, like especially weddings, which I don't think you should do that. You know, a lot of people are going more into like the digital, you know, sending out the events, the evites and stuff like that. But I think for a wedding, you know, I think you keep it a little bit more traditional for me.
Kind of
you know.
impersonal. This is more personal.
More personal, you know, because it's your special event. Hopefully you're only going to be doing this once. You know, but it's not.
That's true.
You know,
That's
and there's an array of ways of having them to go with your theme. You know, and a whole bunch of different ways that you can have them mailed. Like something like this, you can just this can just be your mailing envelope.
Oh, nice. And then it just pops open.
Right. And then there's the invite, and you have all the inserts. We have a belly band that goes with it. You know, so if you're going to put it inside of an outside envelope, it can just, you know, goes over like that. And just,
see. Now that is
fancy.
just,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of creative ways you can
I'm
do
not
your
ready for that
invitation.
just yet.
But I'll be ready when you're ready.
Right.
You know, there's a whole bunch of different ways, you know, like this one's made out of material, which is called a folio. You know, and you just tie it. Very unique and different, you know, way of presenting your
I mean, how do you come up with these ideas?
It just comes to me.
Look at that.
And
It's
how
naturally
simple. It's beautiful.
Right,
And
right.
it's a two-piece.
Well, you can have another. Well, you can also have your inserts right there, which is your reception card, response card.
So you do it all.
Yes.
You do the
I
decorating.
try.
You do
Wait, you don't have no team with you? No, just Dolo?
Well, for these, no. This is the one person's job.
Oh.
I take it very personal.
Oh.
She's like, I do a good job, and I don't like it messed up. How long does it take you to do these more?
Well, it all depends on the type that I'm doing. Like something like this would also take me much longer than, say, something like maybe like this.
Okay.
You know, and this is. You know, and this is like, you know, you can put that in a frame. You know, a lot of people like to present their things in a different way. You know, sometimes people have them mailed out in a box. You know, just
That's
like
beautiful.
something like this will take a little time because it has a pocket.
You've got invitations I've never even seen before.
Yeah,
Like
so
I've
there's a
never
lot of
seen
different
any
ways
of
you
these.
can present your stuff. You know, like something like that is cute for like a sweet 16. You know.
Ah,
of
yeah.
quinceañeras.
My daughter would have loved that.
So which one are the biggest hassles, weddings or sweet 16s?
They're both on the same level.
Yeah.
So it depends on the parent.
Or the bride?
Or the bride, yeah.
And once again, how can people get in touch with you?
They can contact me on Instagram, Facebook. Also, you can also email me at information@llccreates.com.
Okay.
You know, and I also have a website, www.llccreates.com.
Wow. So I want to once again thank you for coming on. We always get an opportunity to see some really amazing, amazing pieces. LeeLee does more than I think people are ever expecting an event coordinator, an event designer to do, and you always take it to the next level.
I try to please.
Yeah. So we are going to go ahead and cut to another break.
Okay.
And I want to make sure that we actually have you come back on to do maybe a workshop with me and Mike.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay?
Tie some stuff up together.
Yeah.
I'm always down for it.
I try, but I don't. It never comes out this nice.
And I'm just bad with my hands, so.
All right, we are going to get a chance to speak with Mike Boston before the end of the show. We're going to cut to a brief break, so you guys don't go anywhere. I can't wait for you to get a chance to meet Mike Boston because he does something very unique with his community activism, and I think it's very encouraging for the older people, for the younger people, because I think it will really bridge the gap between the two generations, which I feel is what we need today in our community. So you guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed all that.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing. I watch golf with him.
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Ballerina.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. You guys, I enjoy every time you connect with me. I want to say 100% thank you to all my supporters out there. If you ever feel like you'd like to sponsor Boss Lady News, feel free to contact me and we can discuss that because your support keeps Boss Lady News going. Now let's go ahead and talk with Mike Boston. I'm so glad you came. And I'm sure BNN is also, but I'm going to take your little visitor tag off.
I follow the rules everywhere.
Right. So I want to first say I got a chance to meet you over at the Strand Theater. And I'd met you before, but unofficially. And it was Ayana O'Brien's event. Yep. And I was hosting, and she's like, you've got to meet Mike. And I'm like, okay, so we got a chance to speak, but when I really got a chance to get in-depth conversation with you and find out more about what you're doing in the community, I was just impressed because there's not, well, there probably are a lot of people out there that are trying to connect with the young people, but we don't always get a chance to highlight them and we don't always get a chance to meet them. So your work in the community, I want to say thank you for everyone out there.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's the beauty of what you're saying. Like, a lot of times people don't get to see, you know, the results of the fruit of their work in their lifetime. So I really feel blessed that I get to, like, at least get, you know, see some of the feedback, some of the results of some of the people that I work with, you know, I attribute that all to God. You know, I'm thankful to be here too. Shout out to Boston.
Right. Well, thank you. Are you originally from the Boston area? Are you New England or Bostonian?
So I was born in Dorchester, Mass. The lines are blurry because
I'm a Dorchester girl too. I'll be honest. People are like, "Oh, do you know this city or that?" I'm from Dorchester. You tell me something in Dorchester, I could probably find it. But in Roxbury, now that I live here, I'm like, I don't know any of these streets.
So for me, it's like I've lived in all of it, like both of them. To me, it's the same thing pretty much. But behind it all is this the fact of that there are so many people out there that are putting in their work. You got a lot of street workers, a lot of youth workers in general, people teaching young people HSE or CBT, GED, whatever they're calling it nowadays. Basically, doesn't matter where you're from. It's just that we all Bostonians, we're native Bostonians, and it's great to like have those opportunities to learn and to get some doors open up for you. I appreciate what was said earlier for, you know, we were talking about some different things with diversity and getting young people exposed to the unusual gap to equal access to education. You know, and that's what we really want to do. That's what Mobile Stu really stands for, getting that gap and taking care of that place where it's really just a tough thing to deal with. So we bring it to those folks that it's tough to, like, because of the whatever the access is, we go to them.
Right.
You know?
And for our viewers out there, what I found out you do is you have this mobile truck that is a music studio.
That's it. That's the whole thing. It's the literal vehicle to deal with some of those issues.
Right. And I had asked you to send me a video so I could really get a chance to see, you know, what are you talking about? It's a mobile music studio, because I've gone into studios and I've seen people recording. Your truck is actually set up for individuals to get on the mic and actually spit something that is deep inside of them, or that can touch the community, or that is just a lot of fun and kind of bridge the gap between the older generation and the younger generation. What made you come up with that concept?
Basically, and thanks for asking that question. The reason why I came up with that concept is because I was dealing with an issue that basically everyone was like, there was no resolve to it, and it was to get access, get those young people that don't have the same type of educational access or resource access because of affiliation. This is where they grew up or whatever. And so Mobile Stu was the conduit to like go to those folks and really show them that they matter to us.
Right.
Thus the whole like new like way that we want to talk about Mobile Stu is that you do matter. You matter. And that's why we go there. We go to your hood. And in our community, historically, there hasn't been a time where I remember Prince being in Boston, you know, and I love Prince. I'm a big fan of his, but I always wished I had access to him. So this kind of like gives that, you know, that kind of outlet with the Mobile Stu. But that's basically what it was, problem solving, dealing with an issue.
Yeah, and it's important. While I was looking at the video, I got a chance to see police officers and the young people, the teens in the community, both getting on the mic. And whether it was comedic, it allows conversation between the two. And I feel like no one had any kind of concept of pulling those two pieces together before.
And I gotta like say that I can't take all the credit for that, you know, trying to use music in that way, because we all remember when the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. People might not know this, but there was a day right after when James Brown was supposed to play in Boston.
I had heard of that.
And every other city, major city, was being torn down and burnt down, and it was people really destroying the communities that they still had to live in after. So what we wanted to do was preemptively take a strike on that kind of like behavior and just the overall aggravation that social media is really pushing on the people with their perception of what's, and it's clear that there is some like absolute value behind what we're seeing, but what we want to do is stop that from happening here in Boston.
Right.
We don't want that. I love my city. I grew up, my last name is Boston. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't want to see this place go down in the same way that we've had to see it demonstrated.
Before.
And exactly. And some of the officers that we know, like, shout out Kenny Grubbs, shout out to Nora Baston, shout out to Pierre, shout out to all, you know, my BPD people, Murray, how they got on that track with us. They didn't just get on the track and rap with us that we produced. They also participated in a roundtable discussion. And then those young people that aren't necessarily musical, they worked on the art project that created the artwork for when you go to download it on iTunes.
Wow.
You know, so there was like many different dimensions that everyone doesn't have to rap, and I wanted to like get to that. And I'm glad that the way you fashioned that question, it's not just for the rapper, it's not just for the singer, it's not just for the poet. We had 3 generations one time at a situation where we were helping in the community with young people that were dealing with the tragedy. And we had 3 generations. We had a young 10-year-old girl, then her mother got on the microphone, then her grandmother got on the microphone. And you could see the levels of like, it went from a rap to more of a like 80s rap to more of a like a spoken word kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That our generations have learned from and lived, and our history has been preserved in the fashion of.
Well, we're not going to stop this conversation. We're just going to take a brief break. So you all, please don't go anywhere. We are talking with Mike Boston. And if you guys have never heard of a mobile studio truck, that's what we're talking about, and how it's really bridging the gap between our law enforcement and our teens, as well as our generations, the older generation and the younger. Please don't go anywhere, okay? You're watching BossLady News. Hi everyone, you're watching BossLady News, and we're currently on set with Mike Boston, and we're talking about the mobile truck, the mobile studio, music studio truck. If people are interested in actually getting on the mic or getting in touch with you or having the truck come to their school, how can they get in touch with you?
Basically, you can reach out to me. I'm on Facebook as Mike Boston, and all the other channels, because I got that hack that made it said my last name was fake, and now I had to start a new page. But Mike Boston 617, all the other channels. And we're talking about Mobile Stu, and so you can also find us on Mobile Stu 617. On all the channels, Instagram, Facebook, Gmail.
So have you gotten on the mic and communicated with some of the young people, or, you know, what have you had to say?
So for the last 20 years, I've basically been helping people start their music careers in Boston, especially as far as hip hop and rap is concerned, because there is no American Idol for rappers. There's no really platform for a strong platform for people that are writers, that are linguistic or whatever. And so I've been doing this for so long that I dress like this because I am a rapper. You know, I've been doing this for a long time myself too, just to try to be the example of writing raps that don't really have bad language and that don't demean women. And that's, so you can find that stuff on SoundCloud, Mike Boston 617 as well. And to find out how we made money off of writing for the Boston Celtics.
Nice.
And that you can do it too, because you're probably better at this than me.
Yeah. And for the young people who are interested in continuing a career and they need, advice, what would you say to them?
One of the things that I really want to emphasize with young people is really get your loyalty in line, specifically with yourself. And the people that you deal with, they can speak for who you are when you're not there, and make sure that that's what's happening. But basically, we started to do this on our own. It was our circle of friends, and we still are a circle of friends. Shout out DJ Don't Snooze, who's been the music behind the Mobile Stu stuff from inception.
Yeah.
Because the circle of friends of us, we are going to hang out 2 hours out of the weekend probably and eat the food we like and drink the things we like, but we're also going to share and tweet for those 2 hours what that person is working on.
Right.
We're probably going to go after this and BossLady News and tweet it and share it and make sure that everybody's seeing what's going on,
Well,
and share our circles with what's going on, and that's what it is.
For sure. For sure. I want to encourage any of the schools and high schools specifically, because I feel like the students have a lot to say, and in schools today there's not enough arts for them. So I believe the Stu truck would be a great opportunity for that.
Yes, the Mobile Stu, and it's a good point because we are getting a lot of invitations from schools to come to Chicago, to come to Philadelphia, Boston, because the music programs are gone.
Right.
It's great that I'm so thankful that you brought that up.
Awesome. So you guys, thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. I enjoyed myself. I hope you guys did. I like to encourage all of my guests to come back on. Run, 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 run. Come on up here, Miss LeeLee. LeeLees Creation. Maybe you can bring that beautiful purple invitation over here. Yes, it's one of my favorite colors. Everybody out there, you know you can contact Boss Lady News anytime. Email me, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll see you next time. Let me see this one.